I never imagined the day would come when I'd walk into my own home and find my wife betraying me in the worst possible way. For years, I believed in our marriage. We had a life that seemed stable from the outside: 2 children, a house we both worked hard for, and friends and family who admired us. But appearances can be deceiving, and nothing prepares you for the moment reality hits like a freight train. It started with small, unsettling changes. My wife, Jessica, had always been warm and communicative, but suddenly she grew secretive. She would hide her phone, delete messages, and make excuses for late nights at the office. She became obsessed with appearances, dressing up more, caring about how she looked for reasons I didn't understand. I wanted to trust her, I had to, but a gnawing feeling inside told me something was wrong. I ignored it, convincing myself it was paranoia, until the day I caught her red-handed. I had returned home early from work one Friday afternoon, hoping to surprise Jessica with lunch and some time together. The house was quiet, eerily so. I called her name, but there was no answer. As I walked through the living room, my eyes fell on a scene I will never forget. Jessica was with another man, our neighbor, someone I had trusted, someone I had considered part of our circle. They were entwined on our couch, completely unaware that I had come home early. Time froze. I felt my chest tighten, my hands go numb. The betrayal was physical, immediate and suffocating. For a moment I couldn't breathe, couldn't think, could only stare as the woman I had loved for over a decade desecrated our marriage right in front of me. Their startled, guilty faces when they finally noticed me barely registered in my mind. I didn't yell. I didn't grab anything. I simply watched as the weight of their shame and my fury collided in the room. I knew immediately what I had to do. Revenge wouldn't be about violence or shouting. It would be about reclaiming my life, my dignity, and my children. I needed proof, and now I had it, recorded in my memory and my phone. The following days were a whirlwind. I documented everything carefully, saving messages, photos, and videos as evidence. I met with a lawyer, explaining the situation in meticulous detail. Custody was my priority. I wasn't going to let Jessica's betrayal disrupt our children's lives any more than it already had. Her reckless behavior had already endangered their emotional stability. It was my job to ensure they were protected. When the divorce papers were filed, Jessica was shocked but angry. She didn't deny the affair, but tried to downplay it, claiming it was a mistake and insisting she could still be a good parent. The court process was intense. She tried to argue for shared custody, attempting to paint me as controlling, as someone who had overreacted to her indiscretions. But I had the evidence. I had the messages, the video, the witnesses, and a clear record of her infidelity. In court, I presented everything calmly, methodically. The judge listened intently as I explained how her affair had begun, how it had continued in our home, and how it had compromised the stability of our family. I emphasized the importance of protecting the children, of shielding them from the chaos she had created. I didn't rant or plead. I simply stated facts, letting the evidence speak for itself. The verdict was in my favor. Custody was awarded primarily to me, with Jessica receiving supervised visitation. The court recognized the danger her choices posed to the children's emotional well-being and acted accordingly. It was a relief, a validation that the truth could not be ignored, and a reminder that betrayal carries consequences. After the court case, I focused on rebuilding. The house that had once been the site of heartbreak became a sanctuary. I structured routines for the children, maintaining stability and normalcy in their lives. School events, bedtime stories, weekend outings, every moment was an opportunity to restore what had been disrupted. Watching their laughter, hearing their chatter, seeing their trust in me, reminded me why I had fought so hard. Jessica attempted to contact me repeatedly, trying to manipulate, to apologize, to reinsert herself into our lives. I refused. I blocked her numbers, limited her access to the children as ordered by the court, and maintained distance. Revenge, I realized, didn't require me to act aggressively. My absence, my refusal to allow her to control the narrative, was far more effective. She had betrayed our marriage, and now she was powerless to undo the consequences. The months that followed were not easy, but they were necessary. I healed. I established a routine that prioritized my children and my own well-being. Friends and family rallied around me, offering support, understanding, and love. Jessica faded from our daily lives, a shadow of the woman who had once claimed she loved me. She faced the repercussions of her actions, from social embarrassment to legal restrictions, and her attempts at reconciliation were fruitless. Looking back, the experience taught me a harsh but invaluable lesson. Betrayal is devastating, but how you respond defines the rest of your life. I could have reacted in anger, in violence, in chaos. Instead, I chose calm, control, and calculated action. I reclaimed my dignity and ensured my children's security. That was the ultimate revenge, not screaming, not shaming, but restoring what she had tried to destroy while letting the natural consequences of her actions take effect. The children thrived. Their school performance improved, their emotional stability strengthened, and their trust in me remained intact. I became both parent and protector, guiding them through a period of turbulence that could have been devastating. And while Jessica's presence lingered in their lives through supervised visits, her power over us was gone. In the quiet moments, I reflected on the marriage that had ended so abruptly, the trust that had been shattered, and the pain that had been inflicted. It was impossible not to feel hurt, but the clarity that came with the end allowed me to see the future with new eyes. I could move forward, free from deceit, free from the manipulation, free to build a life that prioritized honesty, loyalty, and genuine love. I am not proud of the betrayal itself. I mourn the loss of the woman I thought I knew. But I am proud of how I responded. I chose evidence over emotion, truth over vengeance, stability over chaos. I fought for my children, for my dignity, and for the life I had built honestly. In the end, that was far more satisfying than any fleeting act of revenge could have been. Jessica's affair, caught in our own home, became the turning point. It ended our marriage, exposed the depth of her deceit, and ultimately allowed me to reclaim my life. The court's decision to grant me custody was not just a legal victory, it was a moral one. It was recognition that fidelity, responsibility, and love are not abstract concepts. They are the foundation of family life, and when one party violates that foundation, the consequences must follow. Now, years later, my children and I are thriving. We laugh, we share stories, and we build memories that are ours alone. The shadow of betrayal exists only as a reminder of the strength required to overcome it. I walk through life with dignity, having learned that true power lies in calm action, in protecting those who depend on you, and in refusing to allow betrayal to define your future. Sometimes, the most devastating revenge is not public, loud, or vindictive. Sometimes it is quiet, controlled, and precise. It is ensuring that those who hurt you cannot hurt you or your loved ones again. It is reclaiming your life and moving forward with integrity. And that, more than anything, is what I achieved the day I caught my wife cheating in our own house.